we've seen so many turning points, the regeneration of the whole of central London, and the responsibility builders are taking to build whole communities and not just houses. Such a big, exciting change. But within that, the individual houses are really making sense. They're really involved with the challenges of city living, and they're so clever. I mean, constructing the small project award, constructing a whole penthouse in a day, landing it on top of a building in central London. I just love that idea, so marvellous. And at the other end of the scale, because you're really challenged with eco houses and less affordable houses, but the two go together because eco equals affordable because you've got low heat, low energy. There's a wood-framed house, so every time we're moving forward, it's a form of wood which cuts down the insulation properties you have to put into the building by 40% simply because the wood is fantastic. So all of this is coming through in our New Homes Awards, and we have some stunning awards because they deserve them. The architecture deserves it. And, you know, I think we can say that it's not just top end, it's not expensive houses, but we can share the knowledge and the techniques of this award-winning London set of prizes with all builders in London. And, you know, the message filters down, and it's good news.
Moving on, the spotlight falls on an East London neighbourhood. Tell us more.
Yes. Dalston, goodness. The sixth most expensive area to live now in London out of 28 boroughs, which is probably not good news. But you can still buy your one-bedroom new build for under 400,000. So we're seeing what happens, of course, it's network links. So the minute the overground came to Dalston in 2010 was a complete game changer. So the half of Shoreditch piled in because now you can get everywhere from Dalston. The transport links are good.
So much better than it was.
It's so much better than it was. I mean, you can go anywhere. You can go in the City of London, you can go to Hampstead, you can go anywhere you like. It's only 4 miles from the centre of London. And of course, it's a real hipster place, Hackney. Everyone loves Hackney. But there's a real cohesion here for young people, a real big, colourful mix of professionals, creatives, I think mixes, and the market, that market, so the Great Big Dalston market in the evening, it really goes to swing. And what you find is a real commitment there. You know, there's a baker there, she's lovely, who she sets up programs for kids who aren't doing too well or maybe just come out of prison, and you know they trade their skills for a kid that comes in and works for them. There's a sense that this is not just, we're not landing on your patch because it's become expensive and we're all going to sort of greedily take away from it. I think what you feel about Dalston is people are putting into it. And so, yeah, rents are expensive there, 2 bedrooms, 2,000 a month. But I think there's quite a lot of new build coming at reasonable prices, and I've noticed there's a lot of renting, so new build renting. So if you want the security of tenure of a good rent, then I think you get the double whammy of going to Dalston and getting good rent and not being thrown out by a landlord after 4 weeks because his auntie's coming to live in it. So, you know, there's a good mix of property there.
The only concern with some of those newer properties that I see going up in areas like Dalston is you wonder how quickly they've been built, how good quality they are. Yeah. Is that a concern that's fair to have? That used to happen,
didn't it? You know, years ago, and you'll still find in certain, it has to be said, third world countries that they last about 3 months and then they tend to implode. But there's so many building regulations now. The builders will, you know, they can't turn round without being clobbered if they did something wrong. And it's not just, it's all actually under the umbrella of building regulations. So sleep well at night because it's not going to fall down. In fact, it is going to look pretty good.
The wind's not going to blow it down anytime soon. And next, Britain's best known, perhaps best loved horticultural festival and how you can take inspiration from it.
Well, you know what I always think about Chelsea Flower Show is that, although it has this air of being a sort of really snobby place for home county ladies, what is magnificent about it is if you know London, that part of the Royal Hospital down on the embankment is acres and acres of flat ground, one moment. And then over a weekend, it becomes this massive Kew Gardens full of flowering trees, shrubs, and But it's the size. Every garden's small. So that's what you learn, is that London has small. Like London just shrinks. Everyone does things in small spaces. And you realise that these gardens are small. So if they can make it look like Kew Gardens in 12 square feet in London, so can you. And it's only about just knowing, you know, what plants won't die. Occasionally, you know what? The trick is you have to water them. But
that's the trick.
I have been known to plant a few plastic ones among the green ones, and they do work well together, believe you me, but they don't want to know that. The Josie Flower Show, wash your mouth out, Janice. But, you know, there are fantastic ideas there. And out of that, every year, you get some fantastic design inspiration. And so this year, we're seeing big, bold florals. So if you can't get to the flower show, slam them on the wall. And there's some lovely... things like prints and murals used to be so expensive, and you have to call someone in and get them someone to paint the wall. You know, no one's going to do that. But now, for very little money, you can get some magnificent printed technology, and they go to the archives of the botanical museums and the V&A, and you can get these really beautiful... If you want a sort of alcove, which is just one great big massive purple iris, you know, with flowers everywhere, and you just wanted to make that, you'd look at that and be cheered up, wouldn't you, in your flat?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, you know, you can get a print and paste your wall, slam it on, and for very little money, you've got a real inspiration going on there. And, you know, it makes... The accessories around summer, the bold accessories, just make you feel a little bit more summery, don't they?